Hello everybody and welcome to another edition of Inside Guns with your host, me, the Yankee Marshal. You know, winter is right around the corner, and today I was getting prepared to make some changes to a gun that I carry every winter. And I was just going to go ahead and do this, but every time I do something like this and don't record it, I almost said film it, people get upset. They're like, why didn't you show us what you were doing? So today, instead of just doing it, I will actually show you. As I said, winter is coming. It's right around the corner. So I was going to get one of my guns that I carry a lot in the winter ready to go. And the only thing I was going to do to it was change the rear sights. What I carry a lot in the winter is my Smith & Wesson 329 PD. Now I've had this gun for a few years and I've been meaning to change the rear sights on it because this has the adjustable blade sights. And there's a couple of reasons why I don't think these are good for concealed carry. You know, one of which is that they can get knocked out of alignment. You know, over time, they can become, to where they're no longer set up properly. Just working themselves that way, just through motion, you're jarring it around all the time, whatever. That's why it's important that you take it to the range every now and then, shoot it, make sure your sights are still on if you have adjustable sights. But that's not the main reason I wanted to change them. The main reason is I think these bladed sights, these Smith & Wesson rear sights that have that little blade, they can be kind of fragile. Now, I don't mean like they just fall apart, but if you carry outside waistband like I do, you can damage them and sometimes not even be aware of it. My own personal experience is I was carrying a Smith & Wesson 19 with a rear blade sight like that. Banged it against, I can't remember if it was a filing cabinet or a desk. I think we've all, if we carry outside waistband, banged our gun against a door frame or something. Well, I didn't think anything of it, but later that evening when I was unloading my gun to clean it, the blade was broken on the back side. It was snapped completely off on one side and the other side was bent badly. If I would have had to use that gun, those sights would have been pretty useless. So I like a stronger fixed sight on the rear, and that's what I'm going to put on here today. Now, a lot of you might say, okay, well, what sight is it that you like? I'll show you here. It's this sight right here. Now, I know you can't see it very well in this little baggies here in front of me, but this is a D&L fixed rear sight. And I'll put a link in the lower portion of this video in the description, and I'll put a link hopefully in the upper corner of this video where you can go take a look at these. This is not a paid endorsement. They do not sponsor my channel or anything. These I actually use. In fact, if you remember, I had these on my Smith & Wesson 586. I've had it on them for a long time. Loved those sights. I've just been too cheap and too lazy to get around to putting them on my 329. But today, that's going to change. All right, first thing we got to do is just take this front screw right here out. And then we're going to unscrew the rear adjustment screw all the way, and the sight will come right off. Now, if you've got a modern Smith & Wesson, you should have 3 screw holes under here. And I know I said screw holes, but you might want to check that before you order the sights. Make sure you have 3. Sometimes there's just 2 if it's a really old gun, but 3 is normal now. So make sure that you've got 3 under there, because on a normal sight, you don't use the middle one, but on the D&L sights, you do use the middle one, so you will need that hole there. All right, you'll notice there's like a little slot right there, not a slot, but more of a tab that actually slides into the little slot on the back of the revolver right there. So all you got to do is line this up, get it set with that little tab right there, that little tab and slot, and then slide them together. Once you get it in there, you just give it a little tap forward and it's completely seated. Now you just got to install the 3 screws that are provided. And the screws that are provided are Allen head screws, not slotted screws, so you will have to switch tools here. Now you can put a little Loctite on these if you want, to make sure it's the removable type. I have never found it necessary. I've never had one of the screws come out, but it's not a bad idea if you'd like to do it. All right, that's on there. Now, if you still have the original front blade sight, I would suggest you trade out to one of their fiber optic front sights. But I already have a fiber optic front sight on here, and it sits the same height as the one that goes with this sight, so there's no reason for me to change it. So I'll just set this aside and maybe use it on another Smith & Wesson. So that's it. We're done changing the rear sight on my Smith & Wesson 329 PD to a D&L sight, which is going to be much more durable and gives me a better sight picture. All right, there you go. Short and sweet. That didn't take long at all. If you're someone like me that carries a Revolver and you want to have a sturdier rear fixed sight, do yourself a favor, check out the D&L sights. They're really good sights. I really like these sights. I would definitely endorse them. And there's actually another good thing about installing these. Since I took off the original sights of this, I took out the front screw there. And I think that screw is just a little bit longer than the one used on my 28, my Smith & Wesson Model 28. And as you know, it's been short. So it allows gas to swirl around up there because the screw's too short and it damages the cylinder. So I'm going to use that screw on my Model 28 because I think it's a hair longer. And if it is, that might solve that problem. So that's another good thing to come out of this. But like I said, if you want a good fixed rear sight that is not only sturdy but looks really good, check out the D&L sights. And with that being said, that's it for me today. I do want to ask people one thing today before I go. If you've ever thought about becoming a patron of this channel, please do so. Please go over to patreon.com. There's a link in the upper corner of this video where you can become a patron. That's the best way to support the channel, best way to support all the things we do, TYM, Triple P, Pets and Vets, the friend drawing, all those things. So please go over, support the channel. Right now, the channel is greatly in need. So if you've ever thought about doing it and just haven't done it yet, please do it now. I think I've got it set up now where if you join today, you get charged for this month and you don't get charged again until this date next month. It's a new service over on Patreon. I guess they did it differently before. You paid the day you signed up and then on the 1st every time from then in. And then if it was real close together, like if you signed up on the 28th, the 1st came real fast after that. But like I said, even if that happens, I'm only asking people, go over, donate $1, donate $2. If most of the people who watched my videos donated $1, you know how much we'd be able to do for pets and vets, mostly pets? It'd be amazing how much more we could do. We'd be able to do TYM Triple P plus help more animals than we've ever helped before. So, like I said, if you've ever thought about being a patron, please go over there and sign up. And with that being said, I am out of here. I hope you enjoyed the show today, and I hope you come back again tomorrow. Until then, I want everybody out there to remember, always carry, especially if it's a Revolver with fixed rear sights from D&L sights in the wintertime, and stay safe until I see you again.